thoroughly following my Cubing for Dummies series, at this point you would have realized that we have reached the 7th cube. Now, no surprise, if you know how to solve a 3 cube and a 4 cube, as I already said, you can solve any cube, and this cube is not an exception. We know the first step is to solve the centers, then create the edges, and then it's no different than a 3 cube. Although the process of creating the centers and the edges becomes a little too much, but we are going to do it because, well, we have nothing else to do. So as usual, we'll start with the white center. You know the drill, form different lines, make sure that the other lines are not disturbed during this whole process. But because we are starting with the first color, it's much easier to create the first center. Now we should note that in a 7 cube, the centers are defined. That is, we can identify on which side what color is going to be formed. Unlike in even cubes, the centers are not fixed and we have to actually have a reference as to which color is supposed to go on which side. Now that the first white color is done, we are going to go ahead with the exactly opposite color, that is yellow. Now for the yellow color, we do the same thing, but we have to make sure that any move that we make should not disturb the already created white centers. A very simple and easy trick for this to do is to create all the yellow lines on the lateral side of the cube, and once the lines are created, we can just transfer them onto the top layer. So we can see that the yellow color and the white color, the opposite sides, are done. Now we are going to go and solve the lateral sides. I usually start with the color orange. Make sure that while solving these sides, just forget about the other colors, like I'm starting with the color orange. Just forget about the color green, red and blue. We'll deal with them later. Even if you can see that particular lines of green, blue and red are formed, it's okay to disturb them or destroy them. Sometimes things have to fall apart to make way for better things. So now that the orange color is done, keeping the white color on the top, I know that the next color on my right is supposed to be green. Now I can see that there is a blue line that is almost formed. I have to sadly ignore it because if I go ahead and try to solve this one, the green will be confused. So just stick to one color and solve it. Now you have to make sure that whatever move you make, you have to go back and replace all the orange pieces back to its original place, or else the cube is going to get scrambled. We do not want that. So the green color is done. The next color that I will attack is either red or blue. You can choose any one of them. I'll choose with the color red because it just looks a little more solved than blue. Now I come to the situation where I'm going to solve the next few center pieces by the center solving algorithm. So now we can see that all the center pieces are solved. The next step is to solve the edges, which is once again an intuitive process. We have discussed on how we create the edges in a 4 cube, a 5 cube, a 6 cube. This cube is no different. Now that I've placed 4 solved edge pieces on the top and 4 solved edge pieces on the bottom, we have to solve the edge pieces on the lateral side. This becomes a little more trickier than what we have done earlier. But the first step that we are going to do is to actually rearrange the centers so that they are back to its original place. Now I'll try to bring this piece with the red and white to this side. We have really weird zigzag type situations right here, but they're easy to solve. We have two zigzag situations like this. We'll solve them using the edge parity solution that we learned for a 4 cube and a 5 cube. The link will be in the description. And just like that, all the edge pieces are solved. Now the next step that we have to do is to solve this cube like a 3 cube. Like the standard solving procedure, we'll start with the white layer. We'll try to create the white cross. Once that is done, the next step is to solve the white corner pieces. Although it's a nice time to mention that I have made a short series on how to solve all these corner pieces with different orientations. You can check that out, link in the description. Now we'll move ahead with the middle layer. The middle layer is one of the easiest layer to solve, very few steps. Now once the middle layer is solved, we'll go ahead and solve the top layer by creating the yellow cross. Once the crosses are done, the next step is to solve the yellow corner pieces. The yellow corner pieces are the tricky one. I have made shorts on to tackling the 7 different types of situations that arise while solving the yellow corner pieces. So do check them out. And there you go, the cube is solved. I just got lucky and I didn't have to do the last step. Sometimes that does happen. If you even had the slightest feel that before watching this video, you kind of knew how to solve this cube, you actually do know how to solve this cube. I'm guessing you also know how to solve a 3 and a 4 cube. As usual, I've been saying this in all of my videos. These are the basic cubes, and once you know how to solve them, you can literally solve any cube. So if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a like and also subscribe to this channel. It really helps the channel grow. Also comment down below on any other video topics that you have, and the link to this cube is in the description. Go ahead and buy it. Now no surprises if you now no surprises. As usual, I usually start with the color orange because I know that the next step I usually start with the color orange because I would know that the next color that I have to go on the I usually start with the color orange because it helps me I usually start with the color orange.
At this point, I just gave up.
Sometimes things have to fall apart to make way for better things. That must be. And just like that, these are the basics. You can literally solve any of these cubes.
What a drama queen.
Once that is done, the next step is to solve the white corner pieces. That's it.